Welcome back to Solace. This time it feels right to say, as I have taken longer than I should have to make this. I hope you've been chilling, per usual. Life ebbs and flows. I have no complaints though, so don't worry about me. But I do have ideas, I have plans, and I have goals that together we are going to change the trajectory of how the world is going. You've probably noticed there is a very large increase in not only the division between people, but also the amount of new content and new creators you have been seeing just sporadically popping up, even in your feeds, which is more than likely how you came across this video. With that being said, in due time, I would just like to say we'll have our fun. But for now, today, we're going to talk about our beliefs and how our beliefs are the main contributor to our downfall or our success. It is true. It is extremely true. What you believe is what you see. It's what you hear. It's what you smell. It's through your own interpretation. This interpretation is also in a co-relationship with the universe that surrounds it, and I know this is getting deeper off the rip than it needs to, but just to paint the bigger picture ahead of time, you're in a co-relationship with the universe. This means that everything that is happening that you choose to do, it is also fueled through to you through the universe. I'm going to leave that alone for now, but hold on to that thought. With this being the case, your beliefs are pretty much what tether you to this material realm, right? Your beliefs are your senses, your beliefs are your perspective, your interpretation. It is literally how you perceive colors. You know, something along the side of red to orange may be more red to you and orange to someone else. This is because our interpretation and the ways that our brains work, while similar, we have a few differences, especially coming through the individuated expression of soul. Because we are individuated expression of soul, we have individuated experiences of soul. And these end up transferring into our beliefs down the line. Our beliefs are what tether us to everything around us. If you believe I'll use myself as an example. If I were to believe that this bed weren't mine, I wouldn't feel as comfortable sleeping in it. But it is because I know that this bed is mine. Oh, trust me, I made it mine. You can do this through not only your perspective belief, I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, but also because through how you choose to look at things, you are empowered or deflated. You can either choose to look at something as an issue or an opportunity. And it is also through your own conscious choice that you choose to be a victim or a victor. You do not want to be a victim, regardless of if you have been victimized. This is simply because in a victimized state, you will not have the empowering belief that you can do something about your situation on your own, and to then put yourself in a predicament where now you believe that you need outside external help to bring yourself back to neutral. You're disempowering the amount of power within you. And the deeper and more rooted that belief becomes, the harder and harder it is for you to regain that strength that makes you you. This is a problem that is within the general subconscious at the moment. A lot of people have forgotten parts of themselves, if not their entirety, due to not only beliefs thrown onto themselves, not only the beliefs they've chosen to claim, but because of the beliefs that were instilled, that were deeply rooted into the soul previous to this life, let alone this one. When you were a baby, a toddler, even the things you could hear in the background that you may not have noticed consciously. These are small things that will build your character. And a large part of growing up is also being okay with letting that part of yourself go. To shed the parts of yourself that you have now known to not be you, so that you can make more room to find those parts of yourself again, to make yourself whole. This whole journey, this whole discovery process is going to be made made because of you, your actions, and the co-actions of the universe surrounding you, the people who you're around, your environment, the opportunities that present themselves in your environment. This is the co-relationship that is made between your beliefs and the universe. It is through what you choose to believe that you are capable of choosing to use that opportunity or to let it by you. And that choice is provided to you through your free will, whether or not you will actually choose to do what you know you should or what you know you shouldn't. But that is why rewiring these beliefs is also so important, because it is in freeing yourself from these beliefs that have held you back that you can believe and start to perceive a new reality, one that'll bring you closer to who you truly are and who you truly want to surround yourself with, where you want to be, what places you want to see, the things you want to smell, the things you didn't even know you wanted to smell, the foods you wanted to taste, the drinks you wanted to taste, etc., etc., etc. These are all hidden behind the veil of your beliefs. So what can we do to change these beliefs? A few things. One thing I always love to promote is exploring a sense of self-resilience, understanding that you have already gone through multiple trials and tribulations prior to now, and it is in accepting that you have made it through those moments that you can start to understand that you have a lot of power. But this power can be stifled through the lack of boundaries we choose to set in this day and age for whatever reason. Listen, communication is definitely going to be something I have to cover, because not only do I also have issues with it as well, but it is also in that I can accept and analyze that we all have some pretty big throat chakra blockages. A lot of things need to be said that haven't been said, and these things also tend to be boundaries. It can be pretty uncomfortable to tell someone no, or to limit or to feel like you're limiting their control over their own actions. However, do understand that their actions are having an effect on you that require that boundary. If it didn't need it to begin with, then it wouldn't be an issue. But if you so deem choose that it is an issue, then it is an issue. And let it be an issue that you can then address. Because if you continue to let it build up and fester within you, now you're starting to build up a lot of subconscious I wouldn't even say self. You're going to start to resent that person, and maybe a little bit of yourself as well, because you continue to allow it, and you don't need to, and you know you don't need to. So I would say exploring the fact that you are much more capable of establishing these things than you believe you are, even if you feel or you genuinely have never established a boundary in your life before. Practice it with small things like with yourself. Ugh. I don't know why that was so hard for me to come to the conclusion of. If you tell yourself, for example, you're only going to spend 30 minutes doing one thing, like you want to play the game before you leave out, or you wanted to spend some time cooking something ahead of time before you left out. Set that timer and set that boundary with yourself. And this also builds discipline to say, okay, after those 30 minutes are up, I have to get up. I need to go wherever the fuck you need to go. In doing so, you start to build a much more consistent relationship with yourself, in which you can also understand that you can trust yourself because you listen to yourself. And every time you listen to yourself, 9 times out of 10, you start to feel a little bit more happy, a little bit more joyful, fulfilled. But it is in listening to that inner voice, your intuition, that you find that. But hello, I came back to interrupt myself to let you know that the way you can identify this through visualization is by identifying with a feeling that you have felt before. This could be something like closing your eyes and then imagining a dog chasing you. It'll bring up some form of anxiety if you've experienced that before, or if you don't like bugs, think of a bug. I mean, of course, these are like more negative versions of said thing, but you can do the same thing with positive emotions, like the last time you had a hug, like a real one of those ones that just felt longer than it needed to be. Or you could even start to practice imagining and visualizing things you haven't had yet, like what it would feel like to have your favorite dog, what he would sound like, what she would sound like, where you would take them, what walks, how the walks would be, petting them, things like this. These sensations, the more you activate your 5 senses through your thought, the more convinced your brain will become. So, something to think about. And secondly, what you should understand is that, and this actually expands off of that first idea, you have done this before. You have been here before. There is truly nothing new under the sun, I promise you. With that being said, expand to the idea that you can do even better. Because even if you don't feel like your best now, your best was at a point that was better than where you were. So who's to say you don't have another best coming around the corner? Life is bound to transition through its ebbs and flows, and we need to learn to work with them a lot more, to be in flow with them a lot more. To be in flow with them is to not have or hold resistance to these lower moments, but instead to say, well, what can I do now? Now that the problem has presented itself to me, what can I do with the information I've been presented with? Because I promise you, even if the problem seems significant, you have the answer. Even if the answer may seem a little bit more intimidating the first time around, the more and more and more you believe in and trust in this process, the more you start to understand that you already have the answer within you. It's just hidden behind your beliefs. So the number one thing you need to believe is you. And it's always going to be you. You need to have complete faith in yourself. It's always going to be the case. So I would just like to present that idea to you, a little theory. And and it's an inconsequential one. It's not like one that will, it's not going to hurt you to believe in yourself, to have faith in yourself. I wouldn't assume it would, at least. So I would just say to give that a try. I promise you, it'll yield you much more result than if you were to believe you couldn't do what you wanted to do. Does that make sense? Like, I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. So, with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'm going to become a lot more consistent. Actually, I'm gonna even take that back. I am consistent. You're just a little late. So, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. We're going to do great things together. So many great things. It starts with me getting my ass off of recording on my phone. It's cool in here though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm starting to understand the process a little bit more. I'll make sure I can upgrade the quality for you very soon. Thank you.